Hey guys, and welcome to today's yoga lesson. So this is a how-to on just different yoga poses. Most of them are really easy to do. Some are a little bit harder due to balance reasons, but not to movement reasons. So I'm going to start you off in a child's pose. This will lengthen your back and stretch it right down here. You should also feel a stretch in your rear end and your backside quads. Now to start off in the child's pose, you're going to want to get on all fours, hands right under your shoulders, knees just a slightly wider than shoulder width, and you're going to press your bottom back and reach your arms out, and you'll hold this pose for about 30 to 60 seconds, just depending on how long of a stretch you're wanting to get in. The longer you stretch, the looser you'll get. You should feel a stretch also here in your hips. If you're not putting your knees wide enough, you won't really feel that stretch in your hips. You will definitely feel it in your lower back though. And you should also feel a slight stretch in your shoulders as well, in your shoulder blades. So this is a really good stretch to loosen up those back muscles and joints. Next, we'll go into our cow pose, and then we'll transition back and forth between the cow and cat pose. So we're going to start off on our hands and knees for this when we come out of our child's pose. And we're going to sag our bellies in the middle and bend our backs in. Your tailbone should come slightly up. Your chest is up and your belly is curved down towards the ground. This is your cow pose. You'll hold this stretch for about 30 seconds to a minute. Make sure you're pulling your tailbone to the ceiling and relaxing your belly, letting it fall to the ground. Once you've held this pose for a good while, then you're going to come back and slowly arch your back, bring your tailbone inward. So you're moving your pelvic bone towards your chest, and you're pushing away from the floor, so that you look like you're stretching like a cat would, or sometimes if they're scared, you know how they arc their backs and then their fur is sticking all up there. This is our cat pose. And once you've held this for about 30 to 60 seconds, go back into your cow pose, raising your tailbone again towards the ceiling, relaxing your abdomen and letting it fall to the floor. And then you'll go back into your cat pose. And then we're going to transition from a downward dog to an up dog. So down dog, basically you want to be on your hands and knees. If you're already on there, that's great. You're going to push your legs up and put your heels down into the ground. You want your heels as close to the ground as you possibly can. You do want to have them touching. But sometimes we're not there yet because these joints right here have not stretched out that way before. So if your heels come off the ground a little bit, that's okay. And what we're doing is we're using our hands in front of us to push ourselves back. Make sure both your legs are straight so you get the stretch here. And from your down dog position, we're going to walk it forward, sag in the middle with our legs floating up off of the ground. Be sure to hold each position as long as possible, but you want to get in at least 30 seconds. And then you'll transition back into your down dog, stretching those hamstrings again. And then come back to your up dog. Now, if you're just doing this as a morning wake-up stretch to get your blood flowing, you can just do each of these poses one time for 1 minute. And if you only want about a 5-minute stretch, just do 5 poses, each 1 minute long, and that'll help wake you up and get your blood flowing in the morning. Next, we're gonna let me show you real quick before I go into the next move. If you're starting your downward dog from a standing position, then what you'll do is you'll reach towards the ground, feet on the ground flat. Sorry if you can't see my feet, but my feet are flat on the ground. You're gonna reach down, walk forward, and leave your heels on the ground. So just walk forward as far as you can without your heels coming off the ground. So let's go into our next pose. Our next pose is the cobra. The cobra is similar to the up dog, except you don't have your legs floating off the ground. Your legs are touching the ground, and you're getting more of a torso stretch. So we're gonna go like we're doing our up dog, bringing our legs down and putting our feet flat, tops of our feet flat on the ground, and we're looking up towards the ceiling and getting a good stretch within our entire torso. Now for yoga, you shouldn't be having a rapid heart rate. If your heart rate becomes too quick, then you might want to slow down in your transitions or move to an easier pose. You also want to be sure to remember to do deep breathing while doing each position. So you're breathing in slowly through your nose for about a count of 3, and blowing it out for about a count of 5 to 7. That's your cobra pose. If you want to stretch your lower back again after doing that, sometimes that can make your lower back tight again. You can go back into your child's pose and put another stretch into your lower back. Next, we're going to come up on our feet. After we've woken up and done all of those floor poses, and we're starting to wake up a little bit in the morning, we are all going to go onto our feet. Place one foot forward, the other foot to the back. Straight legs. Both toes should be facing both feet should be facing forward. You're going to take your right hand where your right foot is. You're going to reach down towards your right ankle and come up with your left arm. And this is your whoa, excuse me. A little off balance there for a second. Come up with your left arm. Make sure you're keeping your legs straight. Also, what you can do for more balance is stretch your toes out like you're opening your fingers on your hands and sink them into the floor and kind of grab onto the floor. So you'll hold this pose again for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. And then you'll come up slowly. You always want to come up slowly because we don't want the blood rushing to our heads. Rushing from our heads and our blood pressure dropping. So we always want to come up slowly and breathe in and out with slow, deep breaths. Now to stretch the other side, we'll just switch around. Our left leg should be forward now. Our right leg should be back. And be sure when you're doing these triangle poses that, again, both your legs are completely straight. And you also want your heels to be touching the ground. Neither one of your heels should be coming off the ground while doing this pose. So again, we'll reach down to our ankles and up towards the ceiling. When you reach up towards the ceiling, you want to turn your head and look up past through your fingertips. And again, you'll hold this pose anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Now, when you're transitioning from sides, you do want to be sure that if you're doing one side for 30 seconds, you do the other side for 30 seconds as well. And then we'll come down and back up slowly. And we'll transition into the warrior pose. The warrior pose is with your right leg back, your toes are facing outward, and with your left leg forward, your toes are facing forward. Slight bend in the forward leg. Your back leg is completely straight. You're reaching out with both of your arms, and you're facing your torso towards the front. And you're leaning in so that you get a nice inner quad stretch. And you come up and you transition to the other side. Your left leg is now the straight leg, and those toes are facing outwards. Your right leg's toes are facing forwards. Slight bend in the right knee. Lean forward. Stretch your arms out. Keep your torso facing front. And you want to keep a balance, so make sure your arms are at the same height. And you're feeling that quad stretch. So keep your chest up and not leaning forward. And that's our warrior pose. Our last pose that I'm going to show you can be a little more difficult if you don't have very good balance. But our next pose, our last pose, is our tree pose. And depending on where your balance is at, make sure you spread your toes out on the floor. Place them down and kind of grip the floor with your toes. With one leg, you'll bring it up either mid-calf or mid-quad, if you're balanced enough to do it this way. You're simply going to place your hands together in the middle and just breathe in and out. And then if you'd like to balance the other leg as well, you can do it this way as well. And what this does, it just helps us slow our heart rate back down to a normal resting rate. So this is a great finish to your morning pose. Even if you choose to do this in the evening before bedtime, it's also great for relaxation, especially if you have a hard time falling asleep at night. Use your last 15 minutes before you go to bed to do a nice yoga stretch. Once you're done with your warrior pose, you're all done. That was the tree pose. Once the tree pose is finished, then you can be done as well. If you would like to do a few more calming and relaxing poses, there's another variation of the tree pose. We just reach our arms up towards the sky, fingers wide open as possible, like you're opening your leaves and your branches towards the sun. Yeah, and that's just another relaxing pose. And it helps you connect with the room around you. It helps to put on some soft, quiet music and close your eyes. And then you could be done. Now, if you want to go into a deeper, relaxing state, I'm going to fix my camera real quick so that you can see me on the floor. There we go. Okay. To go into a deeper, relaxing phase if you would like. You can sit on the ground, feet crossed, either way, it doesn't matter. One foot on top of the other or crisscrossed. So we just sit on the floor with our legs crossed. Back is straight. You should feel just a slight stretch in your hips if you're not used to doing this pose. And you're going to bring your hands up, breathe in, breathe out together, and bring your hands to heart center. And just breathe in and out. Good, slow, deep breaths. Relaxes the mind and the body. I don't know how my camera keeps moving, but thank you for watching today. If you watched me, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And if you belong to my Facebook health and fitness group, I will see you all again.